Hell, what the? Well, oh god, sorry, my screen recorder is glitchy. Okay, I don't have anything like Bandicam or anything like that. Sorry, people. Okay, anyways, hello everyone. That's it. I'm here back on video. Today, as you can see, we're not doing Minecraft. We're on Splatoon 2 website. As you can see up there, this is Splatoon2Nintendo.com/game modes. And yeah, so we're going to be reading the game mode section from end to top. Okay, just kidding. We're not reading it from end to beginning, but we're discovering a mystery. Look, it's Mary from Splatoon 1, and Callie was in Splatoon 2, or it was in Splatoon 2 as well. I mean, it's Splatoon 1. Look, it's Mary. She's pretty famous, you know. But now we're discovering something else. Where's Callie? Maybe you'll find some clues down in Octo Canyon. See what we know so far in the Squid sister stories. So we're gonna be doing we're gonna be reading about the Squid sister stories on the Splatoon 2 website to see what happened and what exactly happens to Callie and why is she not in Splatoon 2. But anyways, let's read this. Squid sister stories. One of our researchers monitoring the Squid sisters intercepted this top secret report from the Inkling world. So, Prologue, chapter 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. If you haven't read this if you haven't read this, we're gonna read it right now. So that's probably a picture of Inkopolis. About 9 months have passed since the final Splatfest. Twilight lowers its curtain on Inkopolis. Neon signs paint the dusk in brilliant shades of green and pink. The Squid sisters dance on as though driven by the inkling love of battling for turf. Memories such as these linger vividly etched in my mind, but feel too like remnant. I don't even know what that word is. Of a long forgotten past. So I guess this is Mary telling us the whole story. And it happened the night the final Splatfest came to an end. The showdown of Callie versus Mary ended in victory for Mary, but there was no ill will between the two. The girls left the studio arm in arm, smiling and laughing as they always had. The bond between them would continue unbroken for years to come. Or so it seemed at time. Okay, I don't like that. Next chapter. Okay, so that was like the introduction. The final Splatfest rocketed the Squid sisters to new heights of popularity. Callie and Mary, from mere Inkopolis idols to biggest stars in Inkling society, seemingly overnight. Their days became filled from dawn to dusk with the duties of this newfound fame. Callie and Mary still lived in the first apartment they rented upon moving to Inkopolis. It all happened besides the two had been inseparable since they were young. Inseparable, sorry. But even after their finances had stabilized and they'd gotten used to the bustle of Inkopolis, they never gave a thought to living apart. They were always together, both at work and at play. After releasing their first solo recordings, though, their work began to take them down to separate paths more frequently. Okay, never mind. Callie, true to her outgoing nature, began to make guest appearances on variety shows. Filming would often continue late into the night, and many days he didn't return home at all. Oh, that's scary. Mary received the critical praise for her recording Tide Goes Out, and became a frequent guest on music shows, in addition to performing live concerts on her own. Up to this point, whether heading out or for the day or coming home at night, the two had always been together. Now though, their different schedules meant they didn't see each other as often, even on their days off. Well, that's horrible. They spent more and more time apart with each passing day. Next chapter. Top. Oh, this brings me to... Okay, never mind. Okay, that just bring me to the top. Or brought me to the top. Okay, sorry. Ooh, excuse me. Mary was home alone. She'd gotten a day off. But with the theater rehearsal starting up next month, she knew life would be returning quickly to its frantic pace. Chances to relax at home like this would soon become few and far between. Knowing work would keep Callie out late, Mary busied herself with the chores that always seemed to pile up and waited for her friend to return home. At times like this, Mary's thought always seemed to drift. How had Callie truly felt when the results of the final Splatfest had been announced? She seemed disappointed, of course, but that was just because she lost, right? Or was she actually jealous of my rising popularity? Could she still be holding it against me after all this time? Just listen to yourself, Mary. You're overthinking this. You know Callie would never feel like that. Wait. Maybe all this worrying has actually given you some sort of superiority okay, complex. Maybe winning that final Splatfest has made you a fool of yourself. The very idea stung Mary with a twinge of self-loathing. Oh yeah, I want to show you something. When I move my cursor, the ink it's like like an ocean. That's cool. Okay. Next chapter. One day, Callie was awakened by a call on her cell phone. It was her manager. The recording session she had scheduled for the day had been delayed to accommodate a different performer. Callie found herself a bit thrown off by this unexpected break, but was determined to make the most of it. Looking around the apartment, she saw no sign of Mary, which was odd. She was sure Mary had the day off as well. It was just past 8 in the morning, too early for Mary to have gone shopping. Callie decided to get dressed and head out in search of her roommate. Now that she thought about it, Mary had seemed a bit down lately, like there was something on her mind she couldn't stop thinking about. Maybe she was just tired from working too hard, or maybe something had happened to upset her. But worrying about her all day won't fix anything, Callie thought. Work had barely given her time to breathe lately. She'd been feeling a bit lost at sea herself. She made up her mind to find Mary and invite her out for a day of much needed relaxation. Callie found Mary at the cafe with Krusty Sean. They were seated at a table, chatting away. Perhaps it was because their hometowns were so close to one another that Callie and Mary both found Sean so easy to talk to. Mary had been a bit shy when they had first come to the city. After all, Callie couldn't remember the last time she'd seen Mary talking so cheerfully with anyone besides her, and she didn't want to spoil their fun. She decided to head back to the apartment alone. Callie was making breakfast when Mary came home. Mary looked a bit surprised to see Callie up and about, but greeted her friend and said, "Morning, morning." What? Why weren't they like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in like months. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here." They're just like everyday average Callie and Mary. Morning, morning. Same old Mary, thought Callie. While they ate, Callie invited Mary to go shopping, and she gladly accepted. What? Okay. That's not cool. They weren't like, why weren't they like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in years. I'm so happy to see you again." They were just like everyday normal Callie and Mary. That's so weird. How long had it been since they visited Arowana Mall together in their free time? I think that's how you call it. I'm just gonna call it yeah, Arowana. Arowana Mall, whatever. Together in their free time, they wandered past new stores and some of their old favorites, enjoying the leisure of window shopping. After checking out all the spots they were interested in, they worked up quite an appetite and stopped at the cafe for lunch. Callie ordered a burger. Mary a sliced pizza. Yummy. At times like this, talk turned naturally to work. They'd each been doing lately. They swapped stories of workplace happenings and gossiped about their co-stars. Each was concerned for the other, but neither wanted to darken the mood by discussing anything too serious. Callie decided to mention that she'd seen Mary at the cafe that morning. Mary seemed a bit caught off guard, but began talking about her conversation with Krusty Sean without missing a beat. It seems Sean had recently quit his job at Shrimp Kicks. He'd been the store manager there for years, but had a long dreamt of opening a place of his own. A friend introduced a new opportunity, and Sean went for it. I hope he'll be okay, Mary said with some concern. He's always been a bit impulsive. According to Krusty Sean, Annie had been looking for a new gig as well. Truth be told, she'd never been much of a people anemone and felt like she'd given retail to the old college try. She'd been keeping busy recently, helping decorate weapons at ammo nights. The more she did it, the more she felt like this detail-oriented part-time job suited her perfectly. Do you think Annie and Sheldon? Callie blurted out in excitement. Who's Sheldon and who's Annie? No way, Mary said, smiling. Not a chance. It turns out Sheldon was busy himself, planning to expand ammo nights to a second location. He had his eyes on a prime spot in the part of town that was quickly becoming the new hotness for the Turf War set. Ooh, I like Turf War. I've never played Splatoon or Splatoon 2 before. I mean, I have a Nintendo Switch, but it costs like $60. Nintendo trying to get you with those prices, man. That Sheldon he's had a nose for business, the girls agreed. The conversation turned to Cap'n Cuttlefish's to Cap'n Cuttlefish, more precisely that neither of them had seen him lately. Yeah, I remember Cap'n Cuttlefish. He was squidnapped, as the Inklings say, in Splatoon 1, which I don't know why. Well, I should guess. Well, I probably already know because the evil Inklings, well, not evil Inklings, I mean, I forgot what they're called, but they're evil, or they're bad. They're bad guys. Yeah. Okay. They're in the story mode. Not story mode, I mean campaign mode. Okay, anyways, we're reading the story. More precisely, that neither of them had seen him lately. It was true that their schedules had kept them too busy to pay him a proper visit, but they hadn't seen his head poke out of the usual manhole recently, either. There was no real cause for alarm now that the Octarians had gone tame, and thinking of their grandfather gave them a good laugh. Surely the old rascal would turn up sooner or later. They got lost in the conversation, and time slipped away. When they noticed the sun beginning to set, Callie and Mary decided to head home. They remembered just how much fun they always had when they were together. And that's probably them. Weird inkling picture. Fun didn't quite do it justice, though. It was more than that, something special that made their hearts feel full. They felt as though the clouds that had been gathering around them had suddenly blown clear. Next chapter. Whoa, chapter 5! I thought I was on chapter 3! Goodness gracious. I'm already on chapter 5. This is crazy. Mary was packing clothes into her suitcase. She was getting ready for a trip to Calamari County. The trip had come about somewhat suddenly, thanks to finding herself with a rare 3 days off in a row. Also, pay no attention to. I forgot to say this, but pay no attention to these things. Well, Splatoon 2 gave it a little. Yeah. No. Anyways, story. She was getting ready for a trip home to Calamari County. I think that means squid. Calamari. Yeah, calamari, I think. I forgot how to say it, but okay. Anyways, the trip had come about somewhat suddenly thanks to finding herself with a rare 3 days off in a row. Rehearsals for her new show were scheduled to start after this, and she knew she wouldn't have time off again for a while. Wait, I just want to say, how many chapters are there? There are 7 chapters. We might be able to finish the whole. We might be able to finish all these chapters in like one video. I'm just reading this to find out what happened to Callie, because I noticed she wasn't in Splatoon 2 before actually reading the whole game modes thing. I love Little Judd though. Oh man, I love him. Little Judd, he's so cute. At the end of the video I'll show him. Okay, so anyways, and she knew she wouldn't have time off again for a while. Her manager suggested some R&R would do her good and sent her on her way. Mary had invited Callie to join her, but Callie had an appointment she couldn't miss that day. So Mary decided to head out right away by herself so as not to waste her short vacation. What is this place? Calamari County. Calamari County. Calamari. Callie saw her off at the station, promising to catch up with Mary that following day. The train to Calamari County takes 3.5 hours from Inkopolis. Not an epic journey in the grand scheme of things. Still, without Callie by her side, Mary felt lonely, and the minutes ticked by interminably. Mary hadn't been home in quite some time, and her parents were overjoyed to see her. They sat on the porch together, basking in the sun and whiling the day away as Mary told them about her latest exploits in Inkopolis. Okay, well that's nice. She was reminded just how much she loved the place where she'd grown up. Compared to the hustle and bustle of the city, there might not be much happening, but the flow of the time felt different here. It felt right. Mary took in a deep breath of fresh air, exhaled, and felt her worries and cares float away. From time to time as she spoke, Mary's parents interjected with questions about Callie. Each time Mary replied that yes, of course, Callie was doing fine, but with each question she winced inwardly as if pricked by an unseen needle. We're both just really busy with our own things, you know. As she struggled to answer her parents' questions in an upbeat fashion, she was struck by the realization that she didn't really know how Callie was doing at all. But Callie would be coming but Callie would be coming the next day, she reminded herself, and one look at her face would quickly dispel these nagging feelings of guilt. Mary went to bed and waited for morning to arrive. Okay. The next day found Mary waiting at the station for Callie's arrival. When the train pulled in, though Callie wasn't on board. Oh no. I bet she's totally overslept again, Mary thought as she settled in to wait for the next train. I don't like where this is going. Callie was not on the next train, though, nor the one after that. The one after that. Night fell, and there was still no sign of her. Oh, goodness gracious, I don't know how much more I can read of this. Mary called Callie's office and was told that she'd been headed straight home from work to the previous evening. She seemed a bit flustered, but I figured she was just in a hurry to get back to Calamari County, Callie's manager said. What? Oh, okay, wrong place, girl. Sorry. Mary tried their apartment several times, but no one picked up. Mary began to feel panic rising in her chest. And I'm feeling almost the same thing. Well, not exactly like her, but I'm feeling kind of scared right now for Callie. The following morning, Mary cut her trip short and returned to Ankopolis on the first train of the day. She hated to leave her parents so suddenly, but couldn't shake feeling worried about Callie. Plagued by a sense of unease, she spent the whole trip on her phone, searching for some clues as Callie's whereabouts. Her efforts failed to turn anything up to calm her fears. When she arrived at Ankopolis, Mary headed straight for their apartment. The place looked exactly as she'd left it. In fact, there was no sign Callie had been home at all since Mary left for her trip. But if she hadn't come home, where could she have gone? After giving it some thought, Mary got an idea and hurried out of the apartment. Oh my goodness gracious. This is going really bad. I don't know where this is going, but I don't really want to know anymore. But we're going to go read the last chapter really quick. Quickly as she could, Mary arrived into Octo Valley. Cap'n Cuttlefish's shack was completely deserted. The shack itself was undisturbed, but the snow globe that had stood beside it, it was a shattered wreck. Pieces of glass littered the landscape. Oh my goodness. Ah! Oh my god, I don't know how much I can read more. Callie was nowhere to be found. And the scene failed to offer up any clues. With a heavy heart, Mary made her way back to Ankopolis. The city was buzzing with unbelievable news. The Great Zapfish had disappeared. It had vanished once before, but reappeared shortly thereafter. Oh, come on, the Great Zapfish lost again? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that probably makes sense why there's Splatoon 2. The people of the city consoled each other, saying, "Chill out, it won't be gone long this time either." Mary alone shivered in trepidation. Could it possibly be at it again? Mary made up her mind get to the bottom of this. But their adversary was who she suspected. This problem would have no quick and easy solution. Cap'n Cuttlefish was... Oh no. Oh no, don't say that Callie's brainwashed by the evil squidlings. No. No, I'm not reading. Okay, fine, I'll read the rest of it, okay? I'm just getting freaked out. Oh my goodness. Mary, okay. Cap'n Cuttlefish wasn't around to help this time. Her worry for Callie's overshadowed everything, and before long, the squidizens instead of citizens, it's squidizens. I like that. Of Ankopolis would begin to notice Callie's absence. If Mary were to disappear too, at a time like this, it would only add to the chaos. But what else could she do? There was no choice but to find help, and quickly. Just as Cap'n Cuttlefish had done before, she would need to enlist a brave recruit to help investigate the depths of the Octarians' underground base. Thanks to her fame, though, Mary stood out like a sore tentacle in Ankopolis. She had to keep the number of people who knew about the Octarian threat to a minimum. Secrecy secrecy, I don't know, and discretion were, after all, of the utmost importance when it came to the operations of the Squid Break Splatoon. Certainly, the conversations she had with Callie at Er- Er- Arowana Mall came rushing back to her. Word on the street was that all the freshest inklings were hanging out and battling for turf in a new part of town. Surely she could find someone there with the perfect blend of talent and bravery this daring task required. Her mind made up, Mary set her sights on the new center of Squid Kid culture in Goblet Square. I don't know what just happened. Okay, we read all the chapters, but I don't think we found a clue. But there might be one thing that I'm just predicting. I don't really know if it is true. Callie might have been brainwashed. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm overthinking myself like Mary did in chapter 1 or 2. Well, I think it was chapter 2 or 1. I don't know, but we're gonna show off little Judge, or Judd, yeah, here he is. Little Judd, the fuzzy new judge in town. Look at him. There's Judd, and then there's Lil Judd. It's so cute. I love him. He looks so fluffy. Imagine if there was a plushie. I would literally, oh, I would want that a lot. Oh my goodness. And here are the new announcers for Splatfest. Introducing, well, I wouldn't say hottest, because look at her hair, and she looks like 1v1 me, and I'll beat your butt up in Turf War. But and I'm talking about Pearl and Marina. I mean, I'm talking about Pearl. When I said 1v1 me and Turf War, and when I was talking about the hair, I mean, I'm not trying to offend them. Never mind. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I'm just, never mind. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video here. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you're new, please subscribe and turn on post notifications to never miss a video. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye. Oh yeah, I also forgot. There's a new mode. It's called Splatoon Salmon Run. You have to collect golden eggs and kill these guys. They're called salmonoids, I believe. And you have to try and put the golden eggs in the nets. And you can actually revive teammates. There are lots of things like Mr. Grizz. He's a talking bear statue. And there's lots of cool things. I really wish I could get this game. It looks so cool. And yeah, so I will see. Oops, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyways, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, hit the notification bell to never miss a video uploaded by me. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Wait, boopity boopity boop. Splatoon 2. I like his shoes. Okay, anyways.